Hey, welcome to our training here on Saturday. I want to make sure that you guys can see my screen and or at least hear me. I haven't started sharing my screen yet. So we're having a little bit of technical issues. So I want to make sure that we get set up here properly before we begin. Leanne, are you in the room?
Uh, I am in the room.
Good deal. Good deal. Make sure we give people time to respond in the chat to make sure that we are live and we're good to go here with our first training of email CopyPro 2.0. So we'll see what's going on here. Making sure that we're not broadcasting into the ether.
All right, Gordon can hear us, so I'm assuming if Gordon can.
Okay, cool.
Then we've got Terry and John and Eddie and Andrew and Boyd and Carlos. Hopefully they can all hear us too.
Okay, I'm having a difficult time hearing you. It's very tinny, but hopefully that will straighten out. So Boyd can hear us. That's good. That is good. Let me see here. 1 second here. Oh, Minnie, 1 second. 1 second, guys. Just doing some tests here. Okay. You can hear us both. Great. Yes, this is always being recorded, and that's not a problem. In fact, I'm going to probably go the extra mile here and actually record this on no video yet. I haven't started the video yet, so that's good. So I'm going to go the extra mile and record this on ScreenFlow as well, because we'd like to use what I'm going to be doing here as our training videos. We're using this training coaching sessions on Saturday and Tuesday as a way to shoot videos live to actually show, to actually have that on the site. So I started shooting them last night, and that's a fine way of doing it. That's no problem. But I think it might be more entertaining to do it with you guys and to do this live. So I'm going to be recording in the background. So I'll be pausing and saying I'm going to start the recording, and then we'll go. But I'm waiting. I still can't. Having some trouble communicating with my admin here, so I'm waiting for that to take place. If that once I know that I can communicate with Leanne from a chat perspective, I am ready to go, because I'm going to need to be chatting back and forth. So Leanne, if you can answer the chat, if you can see it. If you can't see it, then let me know.
What chat are you chatting at me in?
Okay, so I'm sending you a chat in the admin section. So.
Oh, okay. So if I respond to that, it'll only, let's see if only.
Yeah, what's easier is probably if we just keep Skype open. I'm having to, we're having to do technical stuff in the background, guys. Hey, bear with us here. So first of all, let me ask you this while we're figuring all this out. Anderson, Loom, I don't know Loom. That's interesting. Loom, I don't know what that is, Andrew. Maybe you can elaborate on that. I use ScreenFlow and I've pretty good at it, so I've never had any issues with not using ScreenFlow, but open to new alternatives. So yeah. So cool. Yeah, awesome. Just let me know about that sometime here. But so first of all, I want to make sure. Let me figure out where everybody is starting from. So we are doing this for our customers only. If you're not a customer, that's okay. You can still watch. It's just that you won't be able to do anything with it. But most people here are customers. And, when you upgrade to a new version of software, you're always going to have people saying, especially this one, this was a complete night and day. This is like, what the hell is going on here? Yeah, just really want to make sure that we can cover you guys, and we're hearing a lot of noise in the background, Leanne, so let's mute. So let's make sure that we got you guys in the right place, and also that you know what to expect here. So how many of you, just say yes or no inside the chat, have logged into the new 2.0 interface and played around with it and see kind of where we're going with this? Because this is your data is all there, as you probably have noticed. You may have to clear your cache. You may have to clear cache, but that you do that with everything that's got cookies to it. But shy of that, your data is all there. So Gordon says my 2.0 interface doesn't look like yours. That's why we're going to bring you guys on here. So a lot of yeses here. Great. No, checked 1.0 site yesterday. Boyd, you want to clear your cache? Yeah, there you go. Just clear the cache and you'll see it like magically appear. So there you go. It's a lot to play around with in here. So what we've done, I'm going to give you the overview here. I'm going to share my screen and then we're going to get into the tutorials here. And of course, we're here to take your questions. we're doing it twice is because we just announced this literally on Thursday and we sent out the links on Friday. So we didn't give you a lot of time. So we said, well, let's do it Saturday and Tuesday because some people can make it on Saturday, like at 11, like we're doing it now, and they can't make it during the weeknights. And some people, it's the other way around. So we have a lot of people signed up for Tuesday that couldn't make it Saturday. So we just want to give you the most that we can here. And we're going to basically duplicate the training sessions, and anything that we don't cover today might have to be covered Tuesday, but hopefully we can get through most everything here. So this is the interface that is completely different, as you can tell, from the 1.0 interface. And I want to go through briefly what this is. And there is a watch this first video right here. If you click this, this is going to tell you everything I'm about to tell you. So hopefully you did watch this first. We're going to have this up here for about a week. That's not going to always be there. But the idea behind Email CopyPro has always been, how can we give you A-list caliber email copy and do it in a way that is as easy as possible? Because obviously when you're writing email copy and you're having all these dynamic variables, it's never going to be easy in the sense that you can't fill in 5 blanks and have a year's worth of email come out. Now, I know that everyone on the call knows that that's absolutely impossible. That just cannot happen. But we were looking at what is possible. And with 1.0, which you guys were awesome with giving us feedback on, and you know, we have 500 customers that were saying, here's what we think. And almost everyone had the same, we had literally hundreds of people say the same thing. And that was, this is so powerful. This has taught me so much about my business, but damn, it's hard. It's really difficult. So what we wanted to go back and say, can we make the damn it's hard part go away? Can we make it so much easier to do? Not just from a visual point of view, which is obvious that we've done that, but also from a functional point of view. And that is I'm going to go over the major differences in 1.0 and the 2.0 version. And then we're going to go through the Epic email setup, because there are some people on the call that I can almost guarantee you haven't set up your niche or haven't completed setting up your niche. So we want to get you started. Now, this is going to be a 2-week process of when you launch a new piece of software. You want to have a 2 to 3 week window where we get feedback from people and we add to stuff. So our starter email sequences, which are pretty good right now, if you click on starter, we've got four solo emails for you to start off with. Our starter sequences here, we've got 1 starter sequence. So in other words, we're just getting you started. This is literally the beginner part of this, but that doesn't mean that that's all this Epic email setup does. It will actually run a lot more stuff than this. And what I'm doing over the next 3 or 4 days is finding all of the emails throughout all 4 of these categories that will work within these segments and putting them all into starter emails and starter sequences. So by the end of next week, you're going to have, 20 starter emails and 5 starter sequences, enough to get you going for months, literally to really empower you. And that's literally filling in only about 45 minutes to an hour's worth of work to get this set up. Some people can do it in 30 minutes. It's not hard. We've made it as easy as humanly possible. And that's the big difference in 2.0 and 1.0, is that you don't have to fill out your entire niche. You only have to fill out 12 sections of the niche, and we just break it down into chunks so that you don't ever have to wonder where you're at. You fill it out, and these starter emails and starter sequences are ready for you to go. I mean, there's nothing more for you to do. You just click generate, and there you're going to go. So I'm going to briefly run through what this is from a conceptual point of view. Then we're going to dive into the Epic email setup. And then when we're done with that, we'll dive into the 4 segments that you see: engage, promote, inspire, consume, and tell you, we'll get into more of the nitty gritty of that. Now, what we've decided to do is I broke the formula that I use for email into 4 components. An email does one of 4 things, and sometimes it does many things at once. Don't get me wrong. It's not just an engagement email or just a promotional email. For example, a lot of inspirational emails, things that you would send out as content, will also have a promotion in it. So these are not like, okay, it's all promote, it's all inspire, it's all consume, but they have that, the majority of the email is based around the concept of engagement, which is saying hello to somebody. That's the very first greeting that you have, or a re-engagement, like saying hello to someone that's been on your list for months and has not opened an email. In other words, trying to get your list re-engaged with you. We're in that process right now as we speak. So engagement and re-engagement, which is basically hello, but engagement always leads to a soft promotion. It leads to what's called a micro commitment. So within these emails that fall into the engagement emails, if I click this view all, you can see there's a lot of them here, right? That we've got a lot of stuff for you. Okay, we're not asking you to go into that depth until you need it, but it's here when you need it. So now Email Copy Pro, the most powerful software in the world when it comes down to creating emails, has got all that power that 1.0 has in a much faster way to get to it. And you don't have to use it unless you want to. So we've really made it like it's a smorgasbord. If you can make it easy, you can dive in, you can make this. And even the hard part is so much easier, as you're about to see. But an engagement email is a sequence or an email that's meant to say hello, to greet, to make someone feel rapport with you, to make someone feel comfortable with, hey, I opted in. Here's your free gift. Here's what I'm a little bit about. Here's why I think that you should listen to me. Oh, by the way, I have an offer that I think that you would like. That's basically the idea behind engagement. So that's step one. Step two is to promote something. So engagement leads to promotion. So I just mentioned that, hey, I have something you might be interested in. That could be a free gift. That could be a paid gift. That could be what's called a tripwire. That could be a low hanging offer. Or what we really recommend is you go, hey, I have a webinar that's coming up, or hey, I've got a video that I'd like you to watch, and you sell your primary product. Because a lot of people opting into your list, after they get to know you after a few emails, they're ready to buy. They are. And you want to sell to that, what we call a hot list. You want to sell to that first. Once they do that, they go into what's called consumption. Consumption is exactly what it sounds like. It's people who've bought your stuff, whether it's a product or a service, and you want them to consume what they bought. And consumption not only lowers refunds, consumption creates post-sales. So about 8 times of your revenue, about 800% of your revenue comes from consumption, comes from people going through the product and doing one of two things. Number one, buying more from you or from an affiliate that you promote, or number two, spreading you around. Does that make sense? So consumption is about virality, about creating a viral impact, which you can only do through quality inspirational content. So inspiring consumers connected at the hip. You want consumption emails to be inspiring. I'm going to inspire you to take action. I'm going to inspire you that you can do this. You can follow through with this. And I'm also going to inspire you to buy other stuff that's going to help you along. If people do not buy from the promotional sequence, they go into an inspirational sequence to inspire them to buy. And you do that not through, hey, you really need to buy because of this. You do this through inspiring them to let them know 3 things. Number one, you are capable of achieving success in this field. Number two, I want you to note that other people have done this as well. So I want to inspire you through success stories, whether that's your own story or whether that's customer testimonials. It's all built about inspiration. And number 3, I'm going to give you new ways of looking at things. Now that's more of the traditional inspiration. Like, here's a tip to help you lose weight. Here's a tip to help you write better emails. Just something very short, very simple. And again, but the nature of those tips is to let someone know they can do this. They can do this. So, and inside the inspirational emails, you always link back to the promotion. In case you missed it, here's my offer. P.S. I think that this would really help you, et cetera, and so on. And once they buy, then they go into consumption. So those are the only 4 emails that you'll ever need to send. Consumption is also, by the way, tutorial emails. Like, if this was an email and I said, hey, here's a tutorial on how to use Email Copy Pro, what category would it be in? Am I trying to promote something to you? Am I trying to inspire? No, I'm trying to get you to consume the product. So that's the category it would be in. And in case you ever get lost, you click View All. And View All takes you to the entire, this is every single thing Email Copy Pro offers. As you can tell, there's a lot here. Every sequence, every solo email, you can just read here, read the description, and click and generate it, okay? So that's if you ever get lost. But chances are very great that you won't need to even do that. So that's the overview of Epic. And yes, that spells epic. Isn't that cool? So Epic Email is about using the combination of engagement, promotion, inspirational content, and consumption content to build viral sales for you and to build long-lasting clients that basically pay you and make you happy and you make them happy. So to get off the ground, to get that first email off the ground within your niche is your business, you have to set this thing up. And before 2.0 came around, setting something up was a little on the complicated side. Now it's just infinitely easier and a lot faster. And we're going to show you exactly how to do that. But first, we're going to take this one step at a time. I want to take some questions from you and make sure that you don't have any questions, just with the overall look, feel of Mission Control, where you go, what Epic is about. Let's take some of those questions if we have them right now.
Let's see.
We'll wait for you.
Is the ability, Gordon has a question, is the ability to do a simple VSL part of 2.0?
A VSL is not. We are coming out with VSL CopyPro next year, or maybe by the end of this year. Depends on how well we do with this. But VSL CopyPro will be its own animal. The ability to create a sales page is still in here. So you can take the sales letter. So there's a 6,000 word sales letter that Email CopyPro generates, and you can turn that into a VSL. A lot of people have done that. So, but to actually create a VSL specifically is all the data is there. It's what's not there is the slides versus email, et cetera. I mean, that's a totally different technical layout, which our team is going to be creating. So yeah, VSL CopyPro will actually, Accelerator will always be around, but VSL CopyPro will pretty much take the place of it, because once you fill out this data, you have all the data that you need, with the exception of maybe 10 fields, to create a video sales letter. It's really cool, and a webinar for that matter. And you already have a sales page in here. So if you want to look for a sales page, well, what would a sales page do? It would promote something, right? So if you click categories under promote, you'll see that, do you want to promote someone else or do you want to promote yourself? See, we have affiliate stuff and we have promotion for yourself. So you click here, click sales page, and it's going to pull up the sales page right here. Here's the sales letter email. So this is going to give you that entire email right here. And that email is literally a 6,000 word sales letter. And you can scroll, by the way, we have all the details that you need inside each of these areas. You can scroll it with your mouse. You can scroll it here. You can also use your mouse, the finger mouse, if you have it. So I hope that answers that question. But we want to stick with right now getting your email going. I mean, so a video sales letter, obviously, because I created them, I'm very, very passionate about VSLs. They're very, very important. They require emails on a major level. So not just to send to the VSL, even if you send VSL cold traffic, the majority of your sales from a video sales letter or webinar come after you promote something. So under promotion, you're also going to see, if I go under view categories, I'm going to promote myself. You're also going to see, for example, a webinar, and this webinar sales multiplier, this thing is a 10 email sequence that gives you 700 to 800% more sales. Same thing for a video sales letter. You can take this same exact, this right here, edit it slightly and make it for a video sales letter. So someone doesn't buy and you put this 10 email sequence in place, you're going to really jack your sales. The lowest that we've ever seen is 400%. So if someone buys 25 units on day one, they'll buy 100 units by day 10 in this 10 email sequence. So that's how powerful email is for your sales. So you definitely want to get this. Let's look at this email thing for today, and then we'll get to anything extra later on. So any specific questions about engage, promote, inspire, consume, EPIC, the EPIC email acronym? Want to make sure that that's hopefully it's fairly self-explanatory, but I just want to make sure, because what might be self-explanatory to me might not be to you. So we want to make sure that we address all those questions before we dive into the actual setup.
Go ahead and dive, because you've explained it so well. There aren't any questions.
Okay, great. So let's get into the setup, and then we're going to dive deeper, because I said we'd dive deeper, but I kind of did earlier, again, showing you what was in there. But I want to show you, we'll create stuff like right here on the fly, and I'll show you how easy this is, okay? So I'm going to create, I've already done the tutorial. If you go under Epic Email Setup, like right now, I'm going to go under my own emails. So this, if I click emails, this will pull up all my emails. And as you can see, I've got something called tutorials right here. I'm going to click tutorials. And this is going to pull up the tutorial that I created for our actual demo. So yeah, go here for my instructions, go here for my personal data. And as you can see inside the tutorial section, I am creating videos for each section in here, meaning that there is a setup, enter your personal data video that tells you exactly, it literally walks you through these instructions on exactly what to do. And as you can see, this is me, John Benson. I created my signature, but we also inside the setup now, you can preview your personal data as if it was in an email. So in case you're wondering, people were saying, I wish I could preview this data like it was in an email. Well, you can in the setup. So we just give you, like in this case, 3 different lines. Here's how that data might appear using it at random, you know, pretty simple when it comes down to your name and your signature, but very helpful when it comes down to the other things we're going to cover today. Now, to edit this data, all I have to do is click on the fields. And as you'll notice up here at the top, I'm going to close this video here. By the way, you can close your video and open it. If there is a video, click it right here. Pretty cool. So right here is, I clicked on my first name, John. I said, this is pretty simple. If I want to edit it, I click here. And as you can tell, the window opens and I could just edit it right here. Now, before with email.copypro 1.0, when I would click here, a pop-up would come up and you would have to select from the pop-up and then you would select it and the pop-up would go away. Here, it's pretty simple. If I want to say John Benson Jr., for example, by the way, everything auto-saves now, so I don't have to do anything for autosave. If I want that in there, all I do is click the checkbox and it's going to just update the file automatically over here. So at least I think it is. Oh, did I not save it? I might not have saved it. Or I might not have entered it, did it? Yeah, I did enter it. Oh, my bad. I clicked on the wrong field. Okay, so notice that it says John Benson. It didn't update John Benson Jr. because it doesn't update every field. It never has. It never will. So all I got to do is update John Benson and hit regenerate. So my bad on that one. So now you'll see that John Benson Jr. pulls in. So whenever you add a field to, in other words, if I would have clicked on Benson, it would have edited that field. If I would have clicked on John, because Email CopyPro doesn't know what field that you're editing. So whenever you edit a field, and let's give you an example. Let's say that I want to edit all of this, years in email profits. Notice it pulled up what the field is that I'm editing. So if I edited John CEO, and if I said John CFO, it's not going to change this. Like even if I click the checkbox, watch over here, it'll still say John CEO. See? However, if I say years in email profits and change that to years in prosperity, like that, and then I click the checkbox, it's going to change this over here. So it edits fields as you go along. But now that we changed both of these to click regenerate, you'll see that both of them pull in and they're both going to change. See, now it changed to CFO. So, and that changes in all the data down here as well. So now Email CopyPro is so much easier to use. It's so much easier to edit data because now we can edit data rather than you relying on pop-ups. You can see everything you need here, including the rules, the examples, the help, so that you never have to go anywhere but right here to edit data. It's all right here in this really beautiful screen too. Also, we just went to a long process to make sure the screen and the user interface was very elegant, very beautiful, very fast. So that's very important to me as a software developer. So that is how we enter our personal data. Now, there is a video already for entering your personal data. So I'm not going to cover that again today because all you got to do is watch that video that I showed you that just popped up. So if you have any questions on entering personal data, just click that video. But now let's show you how to actually get to where I'm at. Now, this is my existing niche, the existing tutorial. I'm going to start one from total scratch. So what I'm going to do is click on Epic Email Setup, View All. And by the way, before I do that, sorry, I'm going to just make sure you know this. When you mouse over this, if you have any questions, just click description. And as you can see, it will tell you exactly what this is. It defaults to actions because we want to get you in there as fast as we can. So I'm going to click View All. And there's only one thing to click here, the Epic Email Setup. So I'm going to click that sequence. So this is what you're going to be doing step by step if you have not already filled out your niche. If you've already filled out your niche, you don't need the Epic Email Setup. Unless it comes to when you go, if you want to go through it, knock yourself out, and it'll pull up all your data, and then you can look at it and make sure it reads well in sentences. And we'll pull some people on here on the call here later and have you go open up the Epic Email Setup so we can make sure that it reads well for you. But I'm just doing this from scratch. So the very first thing I'm going to do is just title this tutorial. Because this will forever be my series of emails. Now, Email CopyPro thinks it's emails. Obviously, this isn't emails. This is tutorials. But this gives you the power of what we can do. We're going to create tutorials, even though they're inside the email format. So the very first thing you're going to want to do is create your niche. If you have your niche already, pick it up. Like in other words, if you have if I want to do digital marketer demo niche, I could just click here. Okay. But let's say that I don't have a niche. You click create a new niche. Now, notice what happens is you can create a niche from scratch, literally leave this completely blank and have no data in there at all. Or you can click here and you can select from one of our 25 prefabricated niches that we already have. These are the top 25 niches on in internet marketing. And if you don't find your niche there, I suggest you click Starter, because that will pull in generic content that you can easily edit. So that will give you something to edit. So for our demo here, if it's okay with you, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select a blank niche, or I'll select, I'll tell you even better. Yeah, I'll just select a blank one. So I'm going to create something from scratch, meaning I have, you are in some weird business that we have no idea it exists. And I want to show you how easy it is to create it from nothing. So I'm going to title my niche, my weird niche, and we'll come up with something kind of fun here. And click create new niche. Now, what Email CopyPro is doing now is generating only the fields necessary for this particular set of emails. Notice instead of having all those dozens of fields inside the niche that you used to have inside 1.0, it only pulls up the ones that are used in this sequence. So it makes it so much easier to fill this stuff out. There's only like 4 or 5 things there. There's only one thing here. There's only one thing here. See, it's a lot easier. Now, there's all these zeros means that there's no data in these fields. I could click here and start filling stuff in. Click add entry and away I go. Okay. Here are the rules. Very important here to look at the rules here. That's an easy way to do it. But here's another way to do it. I want you to go ahead and just click generate, even though there's no data in here. And I'll show you why. Because in this particular case, we built tutorials for you. So it's generating all those tutorials now. And this is all live real time, by the way. And it's also on a slower than normal internet connection. And you see how fast it did this. So now here's your overall email. You can retitle it. You can sequence it. You can tag it. You can rate your sequences, etc. And you get stuck here, there's a video that will show you exactly how to use this one section of the field. But click on the instructions, and this will walk you through literally everything that you need to do to set up your epic emails, to set up those first 12 critical areas of epic email. And it begins with what you saw last time, enter your personal data. You can navigate with the tabs. You can navigate also up here. You can also use this to go back, this to go next. As you can see, if you look really carefully, it's saving everything I'm doing up here. So you don't have to worry about saving anything unless you type something into the email that isn't that. In other words, if I start typing here, I would hit save. That's the only time if I manually type something that would be that I would have to just save something. But we took away the need to have to click save all the time, which is going to just make things a lot faster for you. Does that make sense? So the very first thing you'll do is exactly what I did last time. You'll enter your personal data. You're just going to click your first name, last name, enter that data, and your sign off. And just watch the tutorial video right here. That will tell you exactly what I mean by this. I'm going to go to enter your story now. Again, enter your story already has a video for it. So enter your story is very simple. As you can tell, the videos are short. This is 5 minutes. It's going to walk you through what do I mean by story? How do you enter the story? Enter your credentials. So when I click here, and by the way, I'm going to hide this video because when I hide the video, I can see things right across from me. So I'm going to read what I have to do. I'm going to click here and I'm going to start entering my credentials. Notice there's no data here. There's no data here. So I click new entry and then click entry not complete because it isn't complete. You have to complete it. So this entry is completely blank. And this is where I would enter my credentials. So all I have to do is I'll say John Demo. Credentials. By the way, we are coming out with an auto populate for naming this entry here in a couple of weeks. So you can name it manually, or you can leave it unnamed. It's optional, or you can name it for ease of seeing it later in the future, what I just did. So my credentials are my credentials here. Now you would enter something to the effect of, oh, by the way, leave off periods. You don't ever leave in the sentence with a punctuation. Even sometimes I make that mistake. But if I did that, I'll show you what that's going to look like. If you come over here, if I click this, you'll notice that there will be 2 periods at the end of this credentials sentence. Once I actually click it, notice it's 2 periods. You don't want that. So click here, delete it. Okay. So you would enter your credentials. Like I've been involved in weight loss for the last 18 years. I went to UCLA or whatever the case may be. Just a brief paragraph about your credentials. And the last sentence of your paragraph would have zero punctuation to it. Now, we've added this in here. I'm known as the blank. And the reason we want that in there is more or less when you decide to have an affiliate promote you. Because we like to say, come join John Benson, known as the godfather of the video sales letter. So I might say something like the godfather of the VSL. That's actually a real thing for me. Or, of course, I'm using this as a demo. Notice that there's nothing to save here. Nothing shows up over here until I hit regenerate. So I'm going to keep going. Okay. So it's asking me I'm just going to have it preview my data. So my next thing is enter how my story began. So I click this new entry and it's the same process. I just fill out the fields. Here's why I believe I can relate to you. I used to suck at internet marketing. And I just go on through here. I just fill out the same data that you've seen filled out 1,000 times. The real turning point came when something unusual happened. I discovered, etc. And I'm going to make this very fast for our tutorials. It was these experiences that led to my discovery of, and I'll say I uncovered, because I'm not used discover twice, the VSL formula, and now email. This is a poor example of copywriting, but you get the idea. Okay. So now I've got this down here. I can always check my examples. In other words, how does this look into a sentence? But I'm done and I want to preview my story data. So it says click the regenerate button to do that. So I click regenerate and notice that my entire data will fill in. Everything that I filled in will fill in. So if I miss my first name and last name, it's not going to fill that in. So see here. Yeah, I just forgot to enter my don't know how I did that. I thought I did that, but I didn't. I skipped right over that section. So that's okay. So if you see those little brackets, that means you just skipped over the section. There we go. Thought I did that, but I didn't. Okay. So my credentials here, and some folks call me the godfather of the VSL. So here's a little, you can see that it builds the story for you right here. So you're done. So we're actually just walking you through this step by step, inch by inch, and you just keep going. And once you get through this, the 12 sections of this, you're done. So as you can see, this is going very fast. I mean, I would spend a little more time with my story, but that's the longest parts of this. So my avatar is exactly what this is. If you don't know what it is, click rules and examples, descriptions. Your avatar is who you're writing to, and your market in the broadest possible sense. It's the same exact thing that Email CopyPro was at 1.0, but now it's in this format to where it's all right here on one page. There's no pop-ups. There's none of that kind of stuff. So my avatar, in this case, I'll say internet marketers. I'll say an internet marketer because it's asking me for a solo version of that. That makes sense? Everybody cool? So that's all there is to this. I'm already done with this. That was the only things I had to fill out. So I'd hit click regenerate, and it's going to pull in all the data over here. And now it's going to use it in the regeneration thing. So that's all there is to it. Click regenerate again here. So in case something doesn't regenerate, you can just click on it and add to it. So I'll have to check in to see why that's not regenerating, but you get the idea. This is part of software. So anything that you've got filled in, you just click in, it'll generate like that. So, but as you can see, when an internet marketer like you reads my emails, I know you'll feel other internet marketers feel like other internet marketers get a lot out of them. So it just gives you an idea of what the sentences are going to look like inside the email. So that is the setup. Basically, this is all there is to going through these steps. And once I'm done with these steps, I'm ready to go. I'm literally ready to go. So it's pretty straightforward. So I'm going to take any questions that you have at this point before we go any further.
Well, besides questions, we have wow, it's cool, it's fantastic, amazing. Let's see. And then Boyd is asking about the epic email sequence. If I don't see any niches beside my own and have refreshed, am I missing something?
If you don't see any niches on your, I'd like to come. Can you come on and share your screen, Boyd?
Well, the only way, Boyd, at the top of your screen, you'll see invite. What does it say at the top? It says request to speak at the very top right above the chat. So if you click on that button, I'll see your little hand get raised, and then we can get you in. But Lou is asking, while waiting for Boyd, Lou is asking, can you have multiple avatars in the same niche?
Sure. In fact, we encourage that. That's in part of the training program. So I'll give you a great example of that. I write in Internet Marketer. So all you got to do is click on it and create new entry. So what's another way of saying Internet Marketers? Let's say marketers. And this would be a marketer. What today? And I'll click another new entry and I'll just keep going. I scroll down the page. Let's go email marketers. And say an email marketer. Now I've got 3. Let's say I want to use that one here. And you'll notice that it changed it, right? But now when an internet marketer like you reads my emails, I know you'll feel like other marketers. You see what I'm saying? You want to do that. You actually want to create multiple versions of your avatar. So that, because it creates the email will be that much more dynamic. And so if I regenerate this thing, it'll just pull it in randomly. Notice it. See, when a marketer like you reads my emails, so it's marketers like you that inspire me to be an even better internet marketer myself. Notice how that used 2 different versions of your avatar. In fact, inside the directions, I tell you to create 2 versions. So that's important. You got to create 2 versions to make this thing work right. If you don't, that's why those, by the way, that when I was generating this thing, I was going, why isn't my data showing up? Oh yeah, I didn't follow my own instructions. I only created 1. So that's why it didn't show up. Okay. So now I've got 2, but now just watch here. Like I write and market to internet marketers. Now watch when I regenerate this and watch down here. It's kind of funny to regenerate everything but that. Okay. Do this again. Yeah, here we go. It's email marketers like you that inspire me to be an even better internet marketer myself. Do you see how much better that reads? Just having 2 different ways of saying things. And if I wanted to change that from internet marketer to marketer, I just do that. Boom. It's that simple. That's why, and by the way, as I'm building this along, my niche just goes on and on and on and on. So I'm building the most important parts of the niche for getting your starter emails out. So I'm going to go over what those parts are, and then we're going to take even more specific questions. That was a great question, so thank you for that. Obviously, the next part is your niche. You're going to enter what your niche is. Now, there's no need for me to go through the training on this because the training is nothing different than Email CopyPro 1.0. But I just do want you to know that the training on how to do this inside this is what we're going to talk about today. In other words, there should be no questions here. Click here to enter a niche, right? Well, I'd like you to enter at least 2 different versions again of your niche, and I'll show you why. I'm just going to do this very quickly. I even gave you 2 different versions here in this one. So my niche is internet marketing. I'll say email marketing. And I'm going to also say internet sales. I'll say internet sales so it stands out. Okay. So now I've got those two niches already entered. I'm going to hit regenerate, and I want you to watch over here. Notice they both show up, and notice how this. I know email marketing is important to you, and internet sales is something you want to know more about. That's why you'll love my emails. See, that's what we're going to do inside your emails. We're going to pull in data that reads that dynamically. So we might ask you sometimes to provide more than 1 entry for something. So do you see why we do that? It's very powerful, very, very powerful. But this is, no, I'm done. I'm already done with this part. This is how fast it is to get through this. So I'm starting from scratch. I'm literally starting from scratch, and I'm already halfway through it. So as you can tell, that you'll get through this in 30 minutes. I mean, it's not difficult. Okay. And when you're through with it, That's when it gets really cool, because that you can create as the starter emails and starter sequences, and you'll be halfway through any email that you create. Now, there will be emails that you'll create that will require you to do exactly what I'm doing here, click, fill in the data. But from now on, you don't have to do that. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to pop over to Mission Control, and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. Let's say that I want to promote something. So I'm going to look at the categories of my promotion. I want to promote myself because I'm greedy. Okay. And let's say that I want to promote, let's say we'll go with a webinar. Okay. A webinar. We can go with anything that we want. So I can use a whole sequence, or I can use a solo email. Okay. So right now I'm just going to click on this one. I'll click on something. We have all these, we have like dynamically, we have different ways of changing, which are coming out here next week. You'll be able to say, I want a soft email, an aggressive email, a baseline email like we had last time. We just haven't got that feature in there yet. But the chilled to the bone email is more of this scary, aggressive email, but I'll show you what this would look like, right? Now, look what happened when I clicked this. Do you remember what used to happen when you would click on, I want to create an email? If you did not have your niche filled out, you would have to start going through all the niche variables specifically. Now, this is the only fields inside this email. That's it. You only have to fill out those. Okay. So let me give this email chill to the bone demo. And I'm going to select the niche that I've already got filled out, which I'm going to use email marketing. It's loaded the niche. I can click generate from here and the email's done, by the way. But in case I want to look over it, my niche, my primary complaint. Oh, look at this. My secondary complaints, I didn't finish that in this particular one. Okay. My actions, I didn't finish my sales page in this particular one. So maybe I selected the wrong niche. I clicked niche and I did select the wrong niche. I selected email marketing. I meant to select digital marketing. It will reload the niche for digital marketing. And now the same email campaign is going to be loaded. And if I click over here, these are all done. So all I got to do is click generate. And it's generating the email right now. And my email is ready to go. So I can click over here. And here we go. What I recently figured out about marketing literally chilled me to the bone. I got on my knees and thanked the heavens I came across this. Here's the gist. You're a lot less safe when it comes to marketing than you think. Now, if I want to change that to marketing, email marketing, boom, I click that. This news will affect your family, your finances, your health. So this is a very scary email, even your ability to survive the road ahead. Okay, so this was built on, this email was built on purpose to be the very aggressive tone. I'm just showing this because it's kind of fun. Okay, avoid this marketing killer and say goodbye to losing sales due to poorly written emails, seeing a drop in your email sales, and experiencing your subscribers not opening or reading your emails. Go here. One more thing. The part that frightened me the most was how sinister this marketing problem really is. I might want to change that to this online marketing. Notice I can just change it, make it more dynamic. It's done. I mean, there's nothing for me to do except suggest a subject line. And I always scroll up to the top. This chilled me to the bone. That's a good one. I click view. It saves the email, and I'm done. So that was literally what, a minute? A minute. Now, here's what's interesting. Let's see how well this did with just my starter emails. I'm just kind of curious to see without filling out any more data. So in other words, you only saw me fill out the first 3 or 4 parts of the starter email. So let's see how this will do with my starter email instead of an email that I've already done. What do you think? You up for that? All right, cool. Let's go back over here. Mission control. We're going to do the same exact thing we just did. I'm going to promote a webinar for myself. And this is cool, by the way. Now you don't have to wonder about when you're searching for what do you want to promote. It's literally asking you what is your outcome versus here are the cool emails we have. We changed the model to what is your outcome. So I'm going to go quickly and I'll show you what was going to show you. What if you want to promote something? What are you going to click on? Everyone promote, right? Okay. So what is your outcome? Do you want to promote somebody else, or do you want to promote yourself? In other words, do you want to promote an affiliate, or do you want to promote your own stuff? I'm going to promote my own stuff. What are you promoting? Are you promoting an affiliate swipe file? In other words, do you want to send an affiliate stuff for him to promote you? Or are you promoting a discount offer, an event, a last chance, a product launch, a quiz, a sales? We got them all in here for you. Well, I was promoting a webinar. So I'll click webinar. I can click it. And I went down here and I clicked this chill to the bone. I just like that one. See, it tells me all about it. A fear tactic style template that plays into your deepest concern to your prospect. I like that one so much. I'm going to do this again. Notice it just pulled up just the niche values that I need. And I am going to say, see, chilled with blank niche. Almost blank niche. Almost. I just missed my keyboard, sorry. Almost blank niche. Okay. My weird niche, remember that I created that when we first started this tutorial. So I'm just going to click generate. I'm not even going to bother because I know there's stuff missing because I didn't finish it. But I want to show you what it will pull in and how much easier it is to pick even a random email. So I just picked a random email. I didn't choose this one on purpose. And let's see how well we did here. Okay. But when it comes to email marketing, you're a lot less safe than you think. This has some serious repercussions for everything from your health to your family, your finances, ability to even survive the days to come. I don't know if you noticed this or not, but this is completely rewritten from the original version. And if you don't believe me, it's rare that something chills me to the bone, but this did. Hit regenerate. Now watch it. It's going to rewrite the entire email. So notice how I just rewrote what I just put my cursor on? I'm just going to rewrite the whole thing. Boom. So every single time you create an email and your competition creates an email, it's going to read differently. So you never have to worry about, oh, well, my competition has email CopyPro. Yeah, they probably do. And that's okay because the emails rewrite themselves. They stay with the same theme, of course, but they rewrite themselves. So you're a lot less safe when it comes to email marketing than you think. This news will affect you, your family, your health, even your ability to survive the road ahead. On the page below, you'll discover, now this is what I didn't fill out. But notice everything but these sections right here is already done. All I got to do is fill this out. So this is the primary complaint. If I don't know what that is, I click rules and description. This is the most pressing concern they have related to this niche or offer, your prospect's concern. Here are the rules. Don't use pronouns. Don't use the word you, your. Don't use capital letters. Don't use punctuation. Let's look at some examples. Experiencing terrible credit. These are major complaints. So you want to think of your customer saying, what's your biggest problem right now? Well, I'm experiencing terrible credit. I'm struggling to get a date. I'm making lousy investments that steal both time and money. I'm having retirement concerns. You get the idea, okay? So we give you some great examples here. And again, video. Watch me go through the entire thing, okay? These are some of the old videos, but that's okay. They still work. And I'm going to click on new entry. And like it did before, Email CopyPro will walk me right through it with the right verbs, okay? So what would be a complaint for somebody dealing with unread emails, okay? So I can even look at the sentence that I'm going to fill it in here. On the page below, you'll discover how to avoid what? How about suffering from unopened, uninteresting, impotent emails. I'm going to get kind of a little creative here. Click out of it and it reads it right here. When you are suffering from unopened, uninteresting, impotent emails, I might say even downright impotent emails, life can suck. So I know that it's going to read well because it reads well here, but guess what? Now I can look at it inside the actual email, the one that I'm working on, by clicking this right here. Boom. On the page below, you'll discover how to avoid suffering from unopened emails. Uninteresting. And now it's going to ask me to enter a secondary complaint. A secondary complaint? What is that? What is a secondary complaint? Well, it's the other nagging problems that your prospect may have that's associated to the primary complaint. And there's a typo here. Good to know. I'm going to take a screen capture of that. Sometimes we have typos. Rules. What are the rules? No capital letters, avoid. So just read the rules and then just follow the instructions. Okay. So a secondary complaint is something that somebody might suffer from that is suffering from unopened emails. So the primary complaint is I'm making lousy email sales. Okay. My uninteresting emails, my email sales suck. Okay. What's a secondary complaint of that? Well, it might be losing. Notice that it has to be an ing. So how about losing your subscribers? That's a good one, right? Not a bad one. So it asked me to enter 2. As you can see, there's 2 of them here. So I'll click new entry and click that. And then I'll say, what's another secondary concern? Losing your subscribers. And how about, let's scroll the verb list. Look at all these verbs we can choose from. Arguing over financial stress. Your family argues over so this can lead to arguing over financial stress. So that's a pretty good one. Now, I would not have come up with that, but I saw the verb arguing, and there you went. There it went. I said, okay, that works. Click regenerate, and now all this data is filled in. As soon as I actually click the button, there they are. On the page below, you'll discover how to avoid suffering from unopened, uninteresting, even downright impotent emails, arguing over financial stress, and losing your subscribers. Now, another way to say arguing over financial stress that might even read better is, let's go with watching your loved ones argue over your lagging and I'll click that in there. And again, I'm just getting a little nuanced here just to show you what you can do. So now that's going to be clicked in there, and ta-da, and losing your subscribers. And 3 clever ways to solve this killer email marketing problem. And it's asking me for the URL. So that's pretty simple. All I got to do is enter a sales page URL. So I'm going to click right down here, enter the URL. Just going to enter that right now. And it's going to ask me to give a, let's click here now, make this very simple just for tutorial sake. Boom. And I'll click this in here just by clicking that. And there we go. So that email was done with what? Maybe 5 minutes of additional work. But guess what I just did? Do I need to tell you what I just did? I added all of that stuff into that Epic email setup. So that's another way of doing it. But this email wasn't in the Epic email setup. This email was one I picked at random. So as you can see, you can get up and running now in literally minutes. Literally minutes. So instead of spending weeks working through a whole niche, now you still can, and I still want you to do that. I have this sadomasochistic version of myself that says, no, I want you to suffer. I want you to go through the learning about your business and answering all these email marketing questions because they're so important. I mean, to get you to think through what your niche is about, to think through about how your customers buy things, so important, so very important. But if you don't have the time to do that, now we've taken all of that away from you. Click this. Whoops, I forgot to hit regenerate on the last page. No problem. Hit regenerate. So this fills in right here, as you'll see. Boom. And I need to enter my signature name, which is just going to be can't type. There we go. Now I hit view, and this is going to be done. Oh, it's asking me for a transition. See, whenever you're stuck, it goes, oh, it's okay. It wants a transition. So it wants a little bit more data. So no problem. Transitions are easy. So all that is visit the page below and you'll discover a really cool solution to email marketing. I just finished this sentence, right? When you visit the page below, you will, what will you do? So I just follow this sentence. Visit the page below and you will discover a really cool solution to email marketing. Yeah, that's all I'm doing right here. So I'm going to scripture this here and go now and watch this video. I'll say instead of go now, I'll hop on over and watch this video. So there you go. Now I finished the entire data. I just didn't do it before because I didn't think I needed to. But you saw how fast that was. I click regenerate to pull in all the data. And as you can see, it will all populate. Boom. Click view. And now it's done. So it was done in 6 minutes. I lied. But you see what I'm talking about. Now I wanted to promote a webinar. But as you can see, I can promote the Email CopyPro Watch a Sales video. But let's say I specifically said I want to promote a webinar, right? I did say that. So I'm going to say, go to make this a webinar. Hop over now and see this presentation. Watch a short documentary. Those are what things I say for register. But let's say I want them to register. Now, let's change that to I can change this to free. Now, I just changed all that data, regenerate it, and now that email has become a registration to a webinar. That's simple, okay? So, right? It's that simple. Hop on over and register for this free webinar. There you go. So that whole email can work for a video sales letter or a sales page. And I just picked one at random. And to prove my point, I can have you guys come in here and say, do this one. It doesn't matter to me which one I select. So that's how fast you can get up and running inside Email CopyPro. Now, if I had all that data already entered, in other words, if I pre-selected a niche, this would already be done. The only thing that wouldn't be done is my URL, because obviously we don't know what your URL is, but we're talking literally a minute's worth of work if your niche is already inside our library. And if it isn't, which is the demo I'm giving you now, this is what it would look like if you started from absolute scratch. So now we've taken away every possible motivation not to do this. You know, anything saying, oh, it's too difficult. It's no. Now it's super freaking easy to do, and it's every bit as powerful. So whenever you're through this section, you can click on Starter Emails. And as you can see, what I'll do is I'll say, it doesn't matter which one I select again, but I'm going to select one that I know that I finished, right? So Starter Email Demo. And I'll select one of my niches. It doesn't matter which one it is, but I'll select, since we're already in digital marketing, I'll select that one. And all I got to do is hit generate. I don't even have to go through any of these steps. And what it's going to do is generate an email that is all but completely done. I just didn't fill out this one part here. So in case I don't fill anything out, all I got to do is fill out the one part. That's the only thing that wasn't done there because I simply just forgot to fill it out. So new entry here, primary goal, present tense we. What is my primary goal for my customer? Well, in this case, this is about email marketing. So what's the primary goal? I'm going to say making our, limited to that, living income, making our residual income increase through email. That's one of my customers' primary goals. Now, I know that. I know what my customer's primary goal is because I've done the homework. Well, you need to know what your customer's primary goal is. Otherwise, you can't market to them. So you have to ask yourself, what is the primary goal of the people buying my product or service? Well, in my case, it's I want to help you increase your residual income through email. That's one of your primary goals, right? Well, this is just asking you to phrase it in an ing verb with our as the pronoun. So we're limiting you to this in this one instance, and we'll show you why. You click here. Now read the sentence. When it comes to making our residual income increase through email, there's something you and I both share and both need to use. So you wouldn't have even seen this. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't have even seen this if you didn't. It would read really weird if it didn't say you and I after this. So Email CopyPro knows there's a you and I here, so it needs to put the word our here. That's how specific this is. If I regenerate this email, watch this. Well, it just totally went away. It not only it rewrote itself, but now every field cranked in. If I regenerate it again, I'll see how good I did with this my own setup here. Regenerate it again. Well, the whole thing rewrote itself again. So it's going to keep doing that. So I'll just change it to marketing because I like marketing here. There we go. Ready to go. And I'll change this to mysterious marketing tip. Oh, I actually like that one. There you go. My quick start email literally took me, what, a minute? And that's only because I didn't finish my own startup here. So this was done before the startup. Had I finished the startup, that literally would have all populated itself within, 1 minute. I'm out to the races. So I think that we've made this as not only made it so much more clean and powerful and elegant, but just so much more easier to use than what our previous version was. So now I'll finish this and I'll start taking your questions. All you have to do is ask yourself one question when you log into email CopyPro. What is the objective? What am I looking to accomplish? So rather than what type of email do I need, I'm asking you to say, what do I want to accomplish? Do you want to say hello to a new list member? Do you want to re-engage a new list member? Well, right here. Okay. Do you want to promote something? Well, that's kind of obvious, right? Do you need to send content? That's where the inspire category comes in, because content should always inspire. Always. Do you want to teach your customers how to use the product? Right here. Pretty simple, isn't it? We think so. Now, I'll show you one last thing here. If you want to go under the sequences here, you can look at, we've got a 3-day cash machine that you can snag right away from the 3-day affiliate cash machine is right from the, we actually have far more than that I'm adding today. When we flip the site live, we left some of the data on the staging server. So by the end of the day today, you're going to see a whole bunch more inside the sequence library. But we just want to give you an example. So you can create an entire sequence from that setup as well. So if I want to say cash machine, and I'll say test epic 70s and generate. And as you can tell, it does it very quickly. So now I've generated a sequence with my setup, and it tells me exactly when to send the emails. And here's the emails. Now I actually entered a blank niche by mistake. I just didn't set this up. But had I set this up, all that data would have populated. So I can show you the same thing with a populated niche. But I think you get the point. Let me go back here. And I'm going to go back over here, do the same thing I just did. I'll go into the engagement here, cash machine, and I'll use real cash machine. With something I actually did set up. That was the one I'm using for my tutorial, so I'm not finished with it yet. So I'll just come down here and say public speaking, doesn't really matter. Then click generate. And let's see how well we do with this one. It's loading the sequence and the instructions, and there we go. Now I got to do is enter the affiliate offer URL, etc. I don't have an affiliate offer enter for this, come to think of it. So I just didn't finish the affiliate thing. So that's the one thing I didn't finish in this particular sequence, but you can see everything else is finished. So all I got to do is enter the affiliate offer URL, which is just simply an affiliate offer. So I come in here, enter a new entry, and say, what is the name of the affiliate you wish to promote? I'll say Leanne Price. That's the first name, excuse me. Price. And this is not a good thing. And I'm just literally filling in the blanks. Okay, what is this? This is a book, an audio, video. It's a video. And what are they going to learn? I'm going to leave this blank here. I'll leave the URL. I like my URLs, guys. So I'll get it free. Read more here. Deadline. And it's tomorrow. But now this is to promote an affiliate offer. This is the farthest extreme that we're going to take you inside of here. So to do that, I click regenerate and all that data fills in. So I pulled in the most complicated one just because, again, I'm just rolling here, man. Leanne Price is going to show something insanely valuable, and you're going to say what the promises are. I didn't fill in the promises. You saw me leave that out. How to kill it on the speaking stage. I would obviously write a little bit more than this, but I think you get the idea. There you go. So giving you ideas on what to do here, guys. So we're going to be adding a ton of stuff to the emails and sequences for the starter that we had on our staging server that we forgot to pull over to our live server. We're doing that today. So you'll have a whole bunch of stuff that you can start with. And by the end of next week, you're going to have about a month's worth of emails and sequences you can use or more, so that you can literally start making money and get started. And there's no reason to wait any further to use this system. So we want to see you profitable. We want to see you make money. We want to see you spreading the love around. So, Leanne, let's take any questions that we have, and I'll go over any interface questions or any kind of email marketing questions you have.
Alrighty. And Leanne is a badass speaker. Thank you. Let's see. InReal asks, have these emails been scrubbed for spam filters and such, or are you planning on integrating with a service to assist us to hit the inbox better without having to leave Email CopyPro to check and potentially edit down more?
That's a great question. We talked about adding that as a feature down the line. The problem is that every single ISP has a different standard for what they accept as spam. I'll give you an example. For the longest time, the word free was, I still spell free with 3 E's to this very day, because that was one of the big spam filter gotchas. Now you can run free by 20 of the free can go right into Google. It's continually changing. It's a next to impossible thing to do. We recommend external services for stuff like that, people that dedicate themselves to this. Because one of our most common questions that we get has something to do with, can Email CopyPro also do blank? And the answer is always going to be no. And let me give you the really good reason for that. Because you don't want a copywriting team to start dabbling in stuff that we don't know what we're doing. I mean, now, obviously, we know what we're doing as far as email deliverability, but there's a whole companies that do that. So that's the big mistake that people make when it comes down to doing, in my opinion, to building software. So I'm very much along the Steve Jobs line of things. I want to do one thing and do it better than everybody else. So we do that. That all we concentrate is how can we get you the best copy that we can possibly give you, the copy that we know works, from doing this for not only years and years myself, but doing it from all the other people that supply content to us. We know it works. How can we make it work easy for you? So like you're literally clicking buttons and following instructions, and all you have to do is know how to read in order to get through it. That's what we want. That's what we're trying to do. And so anything that distracts me from that mission is not going to happen. I hope that makes sense, because I mean, really what I want for you is this right here. I want you to click the view button, copy, paste, and pop that into whatever you want to do. That could be I want to check it for spam filters. I want to pop it into my ESP. I want to run it through a grammar checker. I want to run it through some readability score to see what my Flush Kincaid score is. If we added all of that to this, we wouldn't be able to do the things we're doing now. It's the same theory that my friend Jason that owns Basecamp does. Basecamp's most popular answer is no. He says that all the time. He goes, can you do, no, we're just really, really awesome at one thing. And that's all we want to do. So same thing here. Now, what we did, as you probably noticed, is spent a lot of time making Email CopyPro 1.0 even tremendously more awesome than what it was in this new iteration, which will not change, by the way. This new iteration will stick around for a long time. But because we listened to all of you, we listened to all of your feedback, and we took what you wanted and created this. But we didn't change anything except for how easy it was to generate the copy. In other words, we didn't say, oh, we're going to also add this new whiz-bang feature that allows you to find every post about Taylor Swift and pull it into your email. If somebody wants to do that kind of stuff, I'm going to let them do it while we concentrate on getting emails that convert, because that will last literally a week. What we're doing will last for years. So that's our take on that. I hope that you appreciate it. And that's where we're at. Yeah.
Let's see.
Hello? I think we might have lost Leanne. 1 second, guys.
Hang on 1 second. My mic. Okay.
Okay, Lynn, do we have any other questions, or do we have, are you there?
Hang on. Yeah, my mic having a little problem here. Let me see. Lou is asking, can you have multiple unrelated niches in Email CopyPro?
Yes, you can have thousands, completely unrelated. So, for example, what I just did here, let's say I want to do the same exact thing, and I'll use a starter email. I'll say a gentle reminder, and I'll say another niche. And I'll select another niche that you see. These are all my niches that I actually really have, and obviously a lot of this is for demo because I demo this all the time, as you can probably imagine. But let's say I'm going to go into something I have no idea. Parent, I've never gone into the parent niche. We pulled this in just to say, okay, parenting is a niche that we pre-populated. So I've never seen this, literally never seen this. So I click overview, define my niche. Parenting, being a parent, child rearing. Oh, that's really good copy. My report story is not done because I'm not a parent. So obviously I would have to fill that out. We don't know what your name is. So you'll have to fill out the signature, right? Okay. So we don't know what your offer is either. So we'll have to enter the offer name, and we don't know what your sales page is. So we enter all the data that we can within this particular email. So you hit generate. And then you go in and you just enter the data one time, of course, because it's going to populate the library once you enter it. So, so I would change being a parent to child rearing. The reason why we put different versions in here is because this sentence reads better like this: you are more capable of achieving child rearing success than you think. You know, so I would say even the pro parents. And this is really all I have to change. I used to struggle with being a parent as well, blah, blah, blah. So I don't know the offer name. I click on the offer name, but you get the idea. This is a completely different niche, a completely different niche. The emails work equally well, just with, minor changes, that you have to make. You click on it, click on something and pull it in. Now we wrote this niche for you. If you're into parenting and you have a parenting book or program, that's what you would pull in. Same thing would be true for any other niche. We could show you all the niches we have. I mean, there's tons of them: stress management, debt reduction, diabetes, all sorts of the top niches that are out there. Obviously, marketing, obviously weight loss, since I'm in both of those. So, good question.
All right, Gordon is asking. He says, "Use the copy button, and now I have identical entries. Is there a way to delete them?"
Yeah, don't use the copy button unless you're trying to copy something and you're trying to copy every single field in something, and then let me show you where to go to delete those. Is you pull that up inside, like in here. Let's say I click child rearing and I hit copy. Okay, now I just copied child rearing. Yeah, just hit X. The only place I can delete that is here. So if you've got something deleted, open it up inside the email itself and then delete it from there. So by the way, there will be a delete button inside the niche itself. So if I click over here, for example, if I want to look at the niche for this, I click here. I can click the specifics or just the niche. I'll just click specifics. Specifics takes me only to these specific steps inside the niche. If I want to look at the entire niche, then I would click then I would go to niche instead. But over here, if I click copy, notice that there's no delete button over here. There's going to be a delete button here next week, so you can delete it here next week. To be honest with you, we just forgot to put it in there. It's in the email sections. We pretty much were thinking the whole time, let's focus on getting people into the email sections of this, rather than having to populate the niche. Over here, the niche is great. Don't get me wrong, but you can't see what an email looks like in here. In the email, you can see exactly what the email is doing and populate your niche now at the same time. So it's much more potent. But I like going through niches entirely. Like if I went back over here to this whole thing called another niche, and I wanted to look at the entire niche, now I can load the entire niche. I can literally look at the parenting niche for every single field in the parenting niche. This is what it used to look like, guys. This used to be on the left-hand side, and this used to be at the top of the. This is all what it used to look like. So you click on present tense goal, blah blah blah. Now it all pulls down here. That's just a lot of data. So it's a lot of data to look through. But that's what if you're wondering what builds out a niche, if you're wondering what's under the hood, what's under the matrix, this is what's under the matrix. It's a lot of stuff here. And in 1.0, this is what you guys had to look at regardless. You had to look at all of this. And we thought, okay, well, you're not going to need all of it. You know, we wanted to build the most powerful email platform in the world for creating copy, which we did. Bar none, nothing comes close. I mean, this is not even remotely open for debate. Okay, I've seen the 3 competitors we have, and it's a joke. It's like a tricycle compared to a Ferrari. I mean, there's no comparison. And I know why they didn't want to build it this way, because building it this way took years, and it's so much more work, right? But the one thing they had over us was that, well, it's easy, yeah, because there's 15 fields to enter. Well, now we have the easy aspect of it, as you just saw, with all the power underneath the hood. So for you advanced marketers that want to look at every single thing of how a copywriter looks at marketing, how I look at creating powerful emails and stories and video sales letters and webinars, this is where you would want to go. All of these things go into a sales pitch. Every single thing you see here. This is just the offer page. Okay. So if you had to look at all of that at once, it's a little intimidating. But even if you go over here and you look at something as advanced as an entire sequence, let's look at an entire, let's go to, I'm going to look at a sequence here. What sequence do I want to look at? Let's look at I'm looking for a really complicated one. Here, give me a moment. What do I want to use? What can I use as a complicated niche? One that's got a, I know what I'll do. I'll go to the 21-day indoctrination. That's what I'll do. So this is a 21-day series of emails. So as you can see, it pulled in every single overview, causes, goals, solutions. These are the 8 sections that email CopyPro has. So it has all 8 in there. It has all 8 of those niches that you just looked at. You know, those long things I just went through, has all 8 of those. So I'll say indoc, but I want to show you this. Important that you see this. I'm going to pull up a niche that I already have entered. Public speaking will be fine. So it's pulling in that niche. Now, instead of going through all of those, it narrows it down to just these. Now look at, there's only 2 causes. This other one had like 19 of them on there. It only has 5, 6 goals. The other one had what, not 20 or something? Solutions. It only has these bits of the solutions. This is a 21-day email series, by the way. So it only has 1 sales page to offer. Content's only got this stuff. So in other words, it's very short. So if I click generate, I'm going to generate that entire 21-day sequence. It's going to tell me what days to send out that sequence. But I only have to look at the niche fields that are specific to that sequence. And this is the longest one we have, guys. So 21 days is a long sequence, right? So notice that all of it's, boom, it already pulled in because that sequence is finished, right? That sequence is a done deal. But in fact, I don't need anything in this one. This one's done. So if I click view, that email was completely done with 0 work. Okay, now I've already gone through it. I've already filled out that niche. But the point is, let's get to one that I might not have filled out, like a content niche. Nope. Looks like Leanne filled that one out too. This is all done. I'll find one. Let's look at this one. No, that's all done. Let's look at this one. Okay. Let's say that one of these, okay, here's one that's not done. Yay, sales page. Okay. So, I'm surprised the sales page isn't done yet. Wondering if that's because that's because that one wasn't regenerated from that. It is done actually, because I added it post facto. So, either that or, there's an error here. Okay. I'm glad I caught that. So I'm going to catch this error here. Don't know what's going on that, but that's okay. If there is an error, it's simple to fix. You just click the checkbox. It's just not as elegant because I have to click it twice. So there you go. So I had that error, and Yeah, but other than that, that's pretty much the only. So that's all I had to do to get that email to work. So occasionally we'll come across a little bug like that. That's the nature of software. This has been live since Thursday, so considering these are the only bugs I'm finding, I'm pretty happy. But you get the idea. So that was that was literally a 12 email sequence over 21 days, and it pulled all that in within what 10 seconds. And but if I wanted to, if I had to look at, for example, if I just had to look at the niche itself, I wanted to look at only editing that niche, it's going to be a lot easier to go over here and hit edit specifics, and it's just going to pull in the 7 aspects of those emails that it needed. So you see what I'm saying? It's a lot easier to fill out those 2 things, don't you think, than it is to look at 19 things. So this took a lot of work to code and build, and I hope that you guys appreciate it, because it really was a labor of love on my part. So that would fill out that entire indoctrination sequence within public speaking. So I think that's a long-winded answer to your question. So yes, you can use hundreds of different niches. It doesn't matter. You can use infinity, and you can only work on the niche data that you need to work on at the time that you need to work on it.
Huzzah. Well, let's see. Terry asks next, and I'm not sure you answered this, but you might have. Regarding Lou's earlier question about having 2 avatars the same niche, I'm a little confused. To me, John's example was interchangeable language for the same thing. I'm thinking of 2 avatars because, such as 1, a woman, 2, a man, because I coach both in my coaching business. Do I need to fill out 2 niches?
Oh, that's a great question. The question's answered. If your list is segmented into men and women, then by all means, it's better to segment. But you would have to assume that your list is segmented. So I know people like, for example, my buddy Mike Geary. I wrote his BSL years ago for Truth About Abs. He has men click here, women click here when you visit the video sales letter. So if they opt in to something, he knows that these are all women or all men, or pretty much, So if you have that ability, then by all means, what you want to do is create your niche and then duplicate it and change all the men to women. And then change, well, I go a step further because I'm a marketer. So the motivations for the primary goals for men and women are probably going to be exactly the same in your business. But the secondary goals and the primary complaints may be different. Now, let me give you an example. If you're a male or a female listening to me right now, if you are of any gender listening to me right now, so just in case Donald Trump is listening, if you're listening to me right now, and I say to you, and you come to me and you say, "Hey, John, I want to lose weight." You can be a guy, you can be a girl, you can be an alien, you can be a rabbit. It doesn't matter. You want to lose weight. That's your primary goal. That is a primary goal in the weight loss industry, is to lose weight. Make sense, right? But the secondary goals, meaning, so secondary goals are like, why do you want to lose weight, Kathy? And Kathy might say, well, I feel embarrassed. I can't fit in my dresses anymore. I want to look nice for my high school reunion. Now that might be a male and a female thing. A male isn't going to say, I want to look nice in my dresses, usually. A male probably isn't going to say, I feel embarrassed. A male will say, like, I feel like I'm getting old. I feel like I can't keep up with my buddies on the golf course. See what I'm saying? Those are 2 different things. So if your audience has those 2 different, and I bet they do, 2 different secondary motivations to dive in and let Email CopyPro help you write those, uber powerful, dude. Uber powerful. And yes, that's exactly what I would do. And to clone a niche is very simple. Just go under niches. And you can see, here's my, I'll go over to the date created my weird niche. So let's say if I wanted to do this, I clone this. Now, you're not going to see these buttons because I'm an admin. You're not going to see that pin button. If I clone it, it's going to clone the niche. It's going to ask me to name it. And I'm going to say my weird niche female. And now it's cloned. And now I can come in here and I can go over to the overview. It's going to pull in all the data for that entire niche. And I can change all of this data right here, or I can change it in the emails that I need. So now if I want to create an email for a niche that's specifically female, I want to create an inspiration. I'll view all of them just so I can see something really quickly here. I'll say avoid this. Doesn't matter what I'm going to choose here. Pulls in only the fields necessary for that email. I'll say females only. Bear in mind, I did not fill out this niche. I only filled out like 3 parts of this niche. So this is not, they're going to pull in a lot of blank data, but you're going to get the idea. So I might pull in the female niche for this. And where it says, suffering from unopened, downright impotent emails, I might change the word impotent since it's not very female friendly. I might unopened. How about this? Boring and less than beautiful. Now, I'm giving you a very pedantic example of this, but you get the idea. So now, now I've got that. And whoops, I'm going to save it here first. And losing your subscriber isn't your cup of tea. First, I have to warn you is blank. Okay, so you talk about false solutions here. So the point is that now I can make this like very catered to a female market. So here's another way. Internet sales, internet marketing. What if I make a new entry inside this female niche and I say women in online business? Say women in marketing. So now, women in marketing success. Now that doesn't make as much sense. So I might say internet sales success, but you get the. I can scroll up here and change it to where it will make sense. So now I've got one that says women in marketing. So I'm just giving you some really quick ideas. So internet sales. You might even do something really silly, like you could add a new entry here and call it girl power. Okay. But you see where I'm going? Get some girl power success under your belt. Okay, now that's all women, right? So now, and I put girl power in quotes because that's, a euphemistic way of saying, girl power would fit into anything: internet marketing, finance, dating. It doesn't matter what it is, right? So I'll use stuff like that. And even though that's not technically, girl power isn't not technically a niche, I will use it in here. And when Email CopyPro pulls it in randomly, like if I hit regenerate, it's probably going to lose this, right? Yeah, email marketing success under your belt. So it pulls in things randomly. But in another email, girl power may be really awesome. It may really kick ass. So in this email, I'll use it. Does that make sense? And then I'll keep it. And you never know, you may use it in 10 other emails down the line. But what am I doing here? Just since you were on this call, since you asked this question, I created a new niche for women, but I added women in marketing and girl power into that niche library. So do you see what I'm talking about, guys? As you're creating one email at a time or one sequence at a time, that's all I'm asking you to do. Go into Email CopyPro. What do I need? I need to inspire, engage, promote, or consume, get my customers to consume. Click the emails that you want and fill in the blanks. It's creating a database that's going to be completely interactive with you. It is as close to AI for email as you'll ever get. And in the future, this stuff is just going to build on itself and build on itself. And before you know it, I know clients of Email CopyPro that literally have 50 names for their niches. So can you imagine how crazy some of their emails sound? There's just no way you can tell a machine wrote this email. They've got 50. One guy has 20 primary goals. Or secondary goals, rather. So he just pulls in all this every email sounds totally different. But he didn't build it all at once. He just built it over time. So you saw, I just put 2 in here. It took me, what, a minute? So if I spend a minute a day doing this, well, do the math. If I added 2 new entries to Email CopyPro, and let's say it took me 5 minutes. Let's stretch it. I spent 5 minutes a day, and I just went into one area of Email CopyPro and added 2 new entries. At the end of the year, how much data would I have that Email CopyPro would pull from and generate completely badass emails? You would never have to even think about hiring a copywriter ever again. I mean, your emails would be done. And on top of all of that, we're adding new emails to Email CopyPro every single month. So on top of you adding data, we're adding data, and we're adding data to the existing emails that we already have. For example, like this is an email you're going to want to save. I want to share a tip that can change your life. If I hit regenerate, watch it rewrite. Boom. It rewrote itself. Well, guess what? We go in and say, let's rewrite another sentence. Let's add 5 more new sentences to this one email today. So the next time you generate an email, it sounds totally different. That's what we're doing for you. And we want you to do the same. If you will work with us, this will be the most powerful application that any internet marketer could use for email ever. But you have to work with us. In other words, we need your data. Of course, we don't use your data, only you do. But we need you to play with the software and learn the system. And we'll keep providing you kick-ass emails that we know work. I mean, I just got a text right now from Jason Fladlin, for example. Jason is the #1 guy in webinar spaces. He's the only guy to ever do $10 million on one webinar. To say he's a successful dude is a monumental understatement. Sends me an audio message on a text phone. And I know what I know what he's going to be talking about. He's going, "Hey guy, I know you're coming out to do our training, hang out with me and Joe in October. What's this webinar sequence you got going on?" Well, do you think that Jason Fladlin, being the #1 guy in webinar spaces, might have a little bit to say about how to write how he might have some really clever emails that he can give me to use for even cooler webinar sequences, or at least different ones? Yeah, that's the circle that I run in, and that's the circle we're bringing to you. You're not going to have access to him. You're not going to have access to Dean Jackson or Joe Polish or Dean Graziosi. I do. So we take that access and go, "Hey guy, can we, I'm starting to talk like a Canadian. I've been here. Hey guy, hey buddy. Can you, do you have an email that you have a sequence over here that works, like with Jonathan Mizell? Hey, do you have a multiplier sequence that works? Yeah, you can use it. Go for it." And we rewrite it, and we write 10, 12 different versions of it, and we give it to you. So if we only did that, and without all this machinery, this would be worth $1,000 a month. We're charging $100 a month for it, and we give you the machinery. And that's because we want you to use this stuff, make a lot of money, spread us around, and we all fall in love with each other. Make sense? Cool.
Yeah,
exactly. There you go.
Let's see. After that, I kind of lost my place. Hang on 1 second. Okay. John is asking, in the future, will it be possible to have the niche stick so I don't have to select it every time I pick a new sequence or function?
The niche stick. I'm trying to picture it. So tell me, select it. No, because there's no way we would know that. Because there's no way we know we have to show you that you can either create a new niche or you can use the one that you've got. So all you have to do is select the niche, but it's that way right now. So if you only have one niche, I know what you're talking about. Like, in other words, if you were over here, and you hit, it doesn't matter which one I hit. So I want to hit a appointment, doesn't matter. And let's say that you only had one niche. It would say select a niche, and it'd be my weird niche, but you always need to see this create a new niche. So this functionality in the way that the software is coded is you can either select a niche or create a new niche. We need this in the same place because it has to pull the data from the same place. So we don't know that you only have one niche. So if we just dumped you into the niche, you might be going, no, I want to create a new niche. And that's going to add what? Another click. It's going to add another button that you have to click versus coming in here and just doing this, clicking new niche. So if you only have one niche, just select it and you're done. It's that fast.
All right. Let's see. Eddie says, first off, this is amazing. I know someone asked a similar question, but should I Accelerator 2? I'll need VSLs as well, mainly for dating and health niches.
Well, okay. You're talking to a guy that literally wrote the book on those two VSLs. So I have zero hesitation saying, yes, you get Accelerator. Accelerator is still the #1 copywriting course on the internet, and will be for probably a long time. But in those two fields and specifically, I actually use weight loss as the tutorial inside all the tutorials because I am the top weight loss guy in VSLs, and I've written 9 of the top dating offers. So in those two spaces, it's a no, yeah, absolutely no brainer to get that one. Because it's going to be, like I said, a year, at least 7 months until we get VSL CopyPro ready. And even then, VSL CopyPro is going to take the same data that we have in email in Accelerator and pull it in. But yeah, Accelerator is a very, very good investment. I mean, that's a no-brainer. You just need the emails to come along with it, and I'm glad you're here. So because obviously, if you can send to people that don't buy, use the webinar multiplier and just change it from webinar to video, and it's a magical sequence. It's one of my favorite.
Well, Eddie says, makes sense. Also, would you advise using this copy for websites, not content-based sites, but landing page looking WordPress sites for SEO rank sites for buyer intent?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Content is content. So we got a lot of exciting things coming up that I want to share with you now. First of all, as you probably have noticed, you can actually do content here. So we have, if I was to show you, let me just show you just in general. I'm going to go to, I have to go to an actual full niche to show you. So let me go to one that's one that I use. Okay, here's an entire niche for weight loss. If I click on content, okay, all of these content pieces, I can fill it out. So I can come in and go, I want a success formula, a content article, how to do X, bad guy equals good guy. I want a pop quiz, ancient secret. Oh, that's kind of cool. I want to use ancient secret for a content piece, right? That's one way of doing this. What we're going to come out with here in the next 8 weeks is going to be called our content library. So these are the 12, I think there's 10 or 12 of these templates that you can create yourself. In other words, you can come in here and say, if I create ancient secret, I click here, I click a new entry, and I fill out all this data. You see all this data you have to fill out? It's building content for you. And all you're doing is completing the sentence. An ancient secret that still works today is blank. So if you have an ancient secret for weight loss is the herb blah. Okay, whatever the name of the herb is. Or apple cider vinegar. Okay, I'm just giving you some really quick stuff here. So, it's defined as pretty simple. Drinking a mixture with lemon juice. Okay. I'm not going to fill out the whole thing. You get the idea. This ancient secret dates back to biblical times. So I'm creating content. Now, you don't see what I'm creating. You don't see the content that I'm creating. The way that you would see the content is how we do this in New 2.0. Okay. So I'm going to save this. Oh, it's already saved, but obviously. I'll come over here, mission control. That's my weight loss niche. And I know that's going to be under an inspire because that's content. I'm inspiring people with content. So I'm going to click view all and I'll come down here and I'm just going to do a search for ancient. There it is. Click that. Ancient secret. I'll give you so much easier way to do this. Is coming up. I'll show you here in a moment. Scroll down here to weight loss and generate. So it's going to generate that email. Now it's so much easier to do this. Now notice what I just entered. Today we're going to help you rediscover really a way to help you do something that dates back to biblical times. Is it true? Okay, obviously the media. True entry. I'll say bogus diets because I want to say that there. So fat loss has huge benefits. What is this? It's called apple cider vinegar. Okay, so I'm just giving you an example. Now I was filling that in a niche, but don't you think it's a lot easier to fill it in here? So because now all I have to do is like today we're going to rediscover a way to help you what? What's it going to help you do? Apple cider vinegar. This ancient secret will help you lose weight without changing your diet at all. Calories in your diet, changing. Okay, so I'm going to pop that in there, and you can see I can just build it as I go along. It's a lot easier, right? That's what a lot of you wanted, and that's what we gave you. Now, I've already got all these answers up here because, you know, I've already filled this in, but you get the idea. So apple cider vinegar is defined as drinking a mixture of ACV with lemon juice. Now, I would define that better, but we're in a tutorial setting, and you get the idea. I'm trying to go very fast. So this content's already been created for you. So it's already here, okay? But all you got to do now is put in the secondary benefits, okay? So I didn't complete that. So it's going to ask you for, also helps you, this is a secondary benefit, also helps you stay regular and digest your food more efficiently. Wait, all this is true. That's the added advantage of being true. But you get the idea. But now look at this. I just want to show you this because this is really cool. Now, you would never have seen this unless I showed you the content itself. Okay, apple cider vinegar has some great side benefits. It helps you stay regular and digest your food more efficiently. I use this as often as I can because it helps me. Now it's asking for a personal benefit. You see how we define the copy. So we're making you write your own copy, okay? But we're asking you just to fill in the blanks. Ancient Secret helps me stick to my diet and curb my appetite at night. Appetite. And there you go. Okay, so click that in there. Now you can see, do you see, I'm just filling this in one step at a time. Once it's in here, it's done. It's done, and now the content piece is done. But you see, we just walked you through a content piece. This is a great content piece. Now, this one's built off of a quiz. So I hope you enjoyed yesterday's email. I might want to change this to trying. I remember this, Leanne. We went into this and we found out that this was I actually didn't write this this module. Our team did, and they made a mistake on trying. Trying to come back and say blah, 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 blah. You know, I'm not going to read all this stuff, especially for bucket quiz answer. In other words, this is a quiz that someone would take online. But if I didn't want to use it as a quiz, this is how hard it is to change it, folks. Not too difficult. So literally now I just took out the quiz component and I can send this out to my list as a content piece, which is why it's under the Inspire section. It's so easy to make these changes. Okay. Now, so I'm just going to copy this one section here and show you what I mean. I'm just going to pull up a text edit file like you would normally, you know. See if you can see this here. Can you guys see this?
Yeah, now that you've blown it up.
Okay. So I hope you enjoyed yesterday's email. You know, trying simply cutting starchy carbs like rice, potatoes, bread out of your diet for 3 days. Then on the 4th day. So I'm reminding them what I wrote yesterday. So that's all that I'm doing here. It's a big part of the equation when it comes to shedding those unwanted pounds. Today we're going to rediscover really a way to help you lose weight without changing the calories in your diet at all that dates back to biblical times. Now, does that sound like a machine wrote this? Of course not. Because we knew the tenses and all that kind of stuff going into it, right? It's a true bogus diet slayer, which I like a lot. But only recently have fat loss experts confirmed that it has huge benefits. What is this ancient secret? It's called apple cider vinegar. Before you say, bah humbug, take a look at this. All I need is the proof. I forgot to enter the proof. Oops. That's it. So, and the rest of it can go on and on and on. And I would have a complete content piece. So I forget who asked the question. I apologize. But you saw me just create a content piece with literally zero data entered into my niche. So I had all my weight loss stuff entered, zero data entered into that content section. So this is how quickly we can create content. Now, I'm going to give you the really cool news now. What we're going to do is we're still going to allow you to create that kind of content, of course, very specifically driven. Like we know that what works is to say an ancient secret. We know ancient secret works to get tons of clicks. So naturally, I guarantee you're going to want to come up here in your subject line and go something like strange remedy Now, the bucket quiz name, which we don't have because this isn't a quiz. So Strange Remedy Karate Chops. Okay. So I would say Strange Remedy. So we said the media. The media was an enemy of fat loss. So karate chops, the media, what doesn't necessarily feel good here. I could change it to karate chops, bogus diets. I changed that one to the enemy in this particular case. So Strange Remedy, karate chops, fat loss. I'm done. I've already given you the subject lines we know work. So we're always going to have that kind of stuff, and all of this always going to have that kind of power available for you. That being said, we're going to come out with a subscription service. It's going to be a subscription that you can add to. You don't have to have it. And it's going to be called the library. And we're going to be providing content that's already prefabricated to your niche on a monthly basis. So inspirational content, motivational content, and specific content geared in the 8 most popular niches. So that's going to be coming out here in about 8 to 10 weeks. And that's going to be something you can add to your account. So every month you get 20 new articles that you can send out. That's this kind of level of content that you don't have to do all this stuff. You don't have to go in there and create all this stuff. It's already done for you. It's already done because we know the sequences. We know what is working. So that's going to be really exciting because you need to be sending really cool content to your list. And you always want to add a PS. Hey, don't forget to get my offer. You always want to add that unless it's a customer list. So anyway, so that's what we got coming up. And but right now we've got the coolest way for you to create content. You just saw me create content without starting from nothing. So I just took something I knew about, apple cider vinegar, filled in the blanks, and the rest of it, the machine wrote. Isn't that cool?
I love this content part. Let's see. Terry and Eddie is saying, this is really, really cool. Many, many O's. Terry said, this was so helpful today. It is getting more and more clear. Understanding how to work with Email CopyPro and divide out niches and avatars and entries has been muddy for me, but I'm getting it now. Thanks so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I guarantee you it's this. I mean, we really slaved over this 2.0. My team was a little bit hesitant to taking a new software and already taking it, into a totally different direction. But I was adamant to make this as powerful as possible. First, you can make things easy, but you can't go back after the fact and make them powerful because then everyone's stuck in the easy thing. Making it super powerful, then making it easy. That's the way to do it. And that's what we've done, making it as easy as possible. So yeah, it's still got all the power under the hood and just all that depth. There's no way, there's not another machine out there in the world, not another software package out in the world that can give you what this is, providing you awesome content segments like this. And I just pulled up one. I could have pulled up any one of those 12 that you saw and started filling in the gaps. And boom, I got content. What I'm telling you is that, yeah, you can do the content. You can do it for any niche. You can do it. You can just keep going, or you can opt to get into our library when we release it here in 8 to 10 weeks. And that's going to be really cool. So every month you get content just already done. You literally click up here. Probably it's going to say library. And you click up here and boom. You pull in, select the content piece you want to send, or you can select all 20 of them, build all 20 of them into one niche, one email segment you call content for January, and boom, you're done. You go in there and you just select the one you want to send out and go, and it's already written in. And not only do we write the content, my team writes the content. We write the content to where it's generic enough to work with anything, like in dealing with motivation, weight loss, the big things, the big areas, health, wealth, finances, relationships, personal development, motivation in general, but also pulls in all of your stuff here. So it's not like PLR content. This pulls in your stuff. So the content reads like you wrote it. And and we know it's A-list caliber writing. So it's just going to be a total game changer for email marketers, because we already have given you the ability to do this for yourself. In other words, yes, you can take 30 minutes and fill out that content segment and send that out. Well, not even 30 minutes. What was it? 10 minutes, whatever it was, 15 minutes. But we're going to give you a way to say, I can create something, not this specific necessarily, because you'll always be able to create this inside Email CopyPro. But let's say you want to create something that's a little less specific. Like, what if we wrote the article about apple cider vinegar and you didn't have to, and you're in the health space? Like the gentleman said, I'm in the health and dating space. Well, how would you like to have an article on apple cider vinegar written by a pro, but that pulled in all your stuff? Like, what if it said like apple cider vinegar because and you had a product called the Belly Blast diet. You said apple cider vinegar, which I love to use in the Belly Blast diet because customers like Jill say the Belly Blast diet caused me to lose 10 pounds. Here's my, do you see the difference? It's like already done for you. So your unique USPs, in other words, your inbox branding, remember that term, inbox branding, all of your inbox branding, your primary solutions, your primary complaints are all pulled into that content. And it's all written for you. It will never get easier than this, folks. It will never get easier, and certainly it can't get more powerful. So we're giving you power and ease at the same time. That's why we've been very excited about this and just really thrilled to see, what's coming out of it, and want to get you guys into this, using it. The more people that use it, the more emails we get saying, man, I use this and my open rates went up 30%. I use this and I made twice as many sales. That's what we're hearing. And we want to hear you doing that too. So did we get to all the questions, Miss Leanne?
We did, except for one. Boyd says, regarding selling copywriting services with Email CopyPro, what areas would you use to generate opt-in lead gen material to get someone to opt in for his services? So he's looking for Email CopyPro to build him a lead magnet, I think.
Okay, I'm sorry. There was a big crash. I didn't hear. He's looking for Email CopyPro what?
To build him a lead magnet?
Okay, to build a lead magnet. If you're, again, okay, so engagement is all about building anything dealing with leads. So again, if you go under engagement, look at this, first contact, cold traffic, opt-in leads, opt-ins, affiliates, leads, free gifts. So that's where you'd want to go. So you look under everything under engage, and you can see the sequences here, and you can see the solo emails here. There's a lot of them. So for a lead magnet, I would go for a free gift. So content, here's your free gift. That's one right there. So opt-in, here's a free gift opt-in. That's where I would go for that. So again, if you ever get stuck, just click view all or view all. You can see everything. If you ever get stuck in saying, I don't know what it is. And when you hit view all, it pulls up every single thing Email CopyPro has. Command F and find whatever you want, like free. Well, find every single instance of the word free. And you can just, okay, there you go. Here's your free gift. I'll use that one. It pulls it up that fast. Okay. And notice it pulled in just here's just the only components in that are this. And as you can tell, if I select, I'll just do this last one here. I'll select, let's go with digital marketing. And if I click overview, it'd be terrible. Oh, I forgot to tell the niche, gift overview. That's all I got to fill out. I've already got them all filled out. See, well, as long as it's got a number there, it means I've got it filled out. Goals. See what I got for goals here. Goals. I got 7. These goals. Wow. Offer. Already got that. Actions. All right. I'm done. So I can just literally click generate, and this is going to pull in a completed email. Content. Here's my free gift. So I'll click view, and I'll say, welcome. Here's your free gift. And there you go. So, yeah, I mean, this is literally done. Okay. So it took me, what was that? 30 seconds. So that was a niche that I had already filled out all those blanks. If I hadn't filled out all those blanks, I would have just filled out the blanks. Dynamic online marketing community. If I didn't have that, if it was internet marketing community, I could change it. Yeah. So it's that simple. It's literally that simple.
Sweet. All right. You have covered it.
I have covered it. So guys, thank you so much for joining me. We're going to do this again on Tuesday, and look for new email tutorials on Monday inside Email CopyPro. So you can just click on them and start viewing them, and in case you get stuck on something. But I think it's pretty self-explanatory. The one thing I just want to say before I leave, you really just want to make sure that when you click on something like especially when it deals with verbs, when you see generating, creating, notice all these verbs I've got here, please do read the rules. It's very, very important to read those rules, because if you say creating my emails and the pronoun is supposed to be your, it's going to read terrible. Now, we limit you to what you can say, but you can type over it. You know, you should create as many variations. You can choose not to use a pronoun. For example, mastering online marketing, I could just take out the word your and just say mastering online marketing. That's totally fine. And if I want to use that one in place of that one. As you walk the path of mastering online marketing and building a successful internet marketing business. Works like a charm. All right, guys, I really appreciate you joining me today on a Saturday. And look again for the, Leanne, if you can put the registration link in the, are we going to send it out by email? Have we already sent it by email for Tuesday? Oh, guys, you know what? Just go here to register Tuesday. Go to tutorials and click this right here. So that's where you want to register. This is the one for Tuesday. So tutorials, register. Cool.
Yep, I just popped it in too.
All right, cool. Guys, thank you so much. I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. Forward to talking to you on Tuesday. Just keep using it, man. Dive in, do the work, and it will make you money if you use it.
Absolutely. Thanks, everyone. Have a great weekend. And thank you, John, for 2 hours of training.
You got it. Thanks, guys.